Greetings and welcome back to my channel for another Human Design Transit report called What's New with Human Design. On Tuesday, September 21st through Sunday, September 26th, this is the configuration that we're going to be seeing in the Sun and the Earth. The Sun is going to move into the gate 46 and the Earth is going to move into the gate 25. These particular energies are really beautiful. They are both on the G center, which is known as the Identity Center or the Calibration Center in quantum human design. I think of it as the heart. So in human design, the story of human design, the heart chakra split into two different centers. One is the G center, one is the will center. I really think of the G center as the place where the magnetic field of the heart is coming from. I'm sure it's fueled by the will, but there's also just a power in that G center. And it's the power of love. Everything in the G center is a type of love. So the gate 46 is the love of the body or embodiment in quantum human design. And the gate 25 is the love of spirit or just spirit in quantum human design. The G center is the center for love and lovability and identity and direction in life. It's the place where we tap into a kind of love that is different from, you might want to say beyond, but I'll just say different than romantic love. It is a universal love. It's a kind of divine love, and it shows up and expresses itself in a variety of different ways based on the gates of the G center. Now, the 46, the gate 46, which is where the sun is during this transit, remembering that the sun is like what you're shining out into the world. This is the love of the body or embodiment. It is in the sensing circuit, and that totally makes sense because the sensing circuit is about experiencing through the body. It's about learning through the body. It's experiential, it's sensual, it's right-brained energy, it's abstract, it's connected to the all that is, it's boundaryless. It has this expansive kind of energy. And so the love of the body or embodiment is a crucial aspect of our birthright. In our technologically focused society today, we can get pretty disembodied. You know, we can really just be in our heads. We're focusing on screens. We're looking at our phones, and we're not really in our bodies. We're not really enjoying our bodies. I think during the pandemic, for many people, this got even worse because we weren't necessarily, going to the gym the same way that we were, or we weren't engaging in activities the same way that may have gotten away from technology. In fact, we used technology a whole lot more than we used to. And now here in September, we're going into fall. And as we do that, we tend to go inside more. It's going to be shorter days. It's going to be getting colder. We're going to have more of a tendency to be using our technology and to not be embodying ourselves as much. I want to invite you during this transit to spend some time really just connecting with your body. I was working with a client in a reading the other day, and she has both a defined head and ajna, and she said it's hard for her to feel in her body. I was doing a couple of exercises with her because I was suggesting it could be really helpful for her to be able to become more embodied so she could feel her sacral response. She was saying, it's hard. I don't really feel my body. So I want to invite you to just take some time, just put your hands on your heart, put your hand on your belly, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, just be with yourself and be coming out of the thinking tower and sending your awareness down into your belly. Sometimes it's helpful when you have your hands on you and you press in with your hands a little bit, because then you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can really kind of feel inside a little bit more, because I can feel the pressure that's coming from my hands. And your body has an enormous amount of wisdom to share with you. we really, in human design, we say never make decisions with your mind, right? It's really your body, which is a kind of spiritual tuning fork, if you will, which is that it is very much connected to your inner being or to your soul self or to the flow of life. And it is going to be receiving messages that are not mental messages in the same way. They can be verbal, but they can also just be a feeling. It might be more somatic. It could be what we call the felt sense, which is what we experience in the sensing circuit. But it's just as important. In fact, I think it's even more important. And it gives us access to different kinds of intelligences, not just the mental intelligence. Our mental intelligence is only one of many different kinds of intelligences we have, many different kinds of wisdom. And our body wisdom is a vital one. And so during this transit, you're going to have more ability to feel into your body than you would at other times, because the 46 is all about the love of the body or embodiment. Some of the things you can do is to be physically active, whether that is, going out for a walk, whether that's riding a bike, whether it's doing some yoga, just really paying attention more to your body and moving your body around. When you do this, it can also help open up your creative mind, your creative centers. It's a great thing to do before you want to go and do writing, for example, or painting or singing or writing songs or any kind of creative activity, even cooking. Okay, anything that you do that is going to be more creative, where your right brain is really going to be helpful to you, doing something physical and getting down in your body, feeling your body, loving your body, is going to help with that. The Earth is moving into the gate 25, which in traditional human design is known as love of spirit, or simply spirit in quantum human design. It's also on the G center, and it is a beautiful energy that is part of the sensing circuit. Let's talk about the sensing circuit for a minute. So the sensing circuit is a short little circuit, and it is individual circuitry, and it runs from the sacral up into the G center, then from the G center into the will center. And it is that particular circuit, it motorizes or brings power into the G center. It has a kind of penetrating energy, which is known as aura busting energy, which means that when this circuit is activated, that you're going to feel it. I know I have 3 out of the 4 gates of the sensing circuit, and I think that this contributes to the energy that I have that other people feel, and I've learned to be more aware of that so that I can be managing that energy well. The cool thing about it is it's influential, and when you are in your integrity and you're using it well, it can help influence other people around things that you think are important. I'm not talking about manipulation or coercion or anything like that. It's just a kind of compelling energy that can invite people along, if you will. When it comes to the love of spirit or simply spirit, obviously this can be very beneficial if we're expressing the higher aspect of the 25, then that's something that other people can be influenced by, and they can also be uplifted by that. The 25 is also part of the channel, which is sometimes known as the channel of the priest or the priestess, channel of initiation. Its mate is the 51, which I talked about a couple of episodes ago. And it is this energy that helps to initiate people into higher consciousness, helps us to wake up, helps us to break through our conditioning or to break through the trance that we can get into, and helps us to awaken to a higher perspective and helps us to kind of step back from the challenges of our everyday lives and to see a bigger picture, to be able to tap into our own connection with spirit, to be able to have a divinely orchestrated relationship with other people and with the natural world. So this is a very beneficial energy that we're going to be having. I know for me, what's going to happen during this transit is that it's going to complete that channel for me because I have the 51. It's going to define my will center. So I'm going to have this willpower energy that I don't always have, and it will complete that whole channel for me. I recommend that you check out how these transits are going to be affecting your own chart. You also want to be aware of the potential lower side of the 25, which is not believing in the flow of life, or not believing that there is a creative intelligence, or simply feeling isolated and alone, like the universe isn't accessible to you, or God has abandoned you, or that you are separate from spirit, which is a malaise that hurts a lot of people. And so if this is something that has been true for you, you will have the opportunity to shift that conditioning that you have during this transit. And I would highly recommend that you do so. I also want to remind you that during really the next few months, from last week all the way through the middle of January 2022, we have a very interesting alignment, which is the 3420 is being defined by the North and the South node. And this means that everybody who's born during this time is going to be a manifesting generator, because this channel goes from the sacral to the throat. And I talked about it in last week's episode, so you can check that out a little bit more if you want some more details that I shared there. Today, I want to talk about an aspect of it that I haven't shared with you yet, which is that as part of the integration circuit, the 3420 also needs time to integrate. It means that even though this is a very speedy channel, and the 34 is known as the busy gate, and manifesting generators are known for really doing things very quickly and for skipping steps, which is why Karen Curry Parker has renamed them the time bender. Even while that's true, if you have the 3420, and this is going to be true for all of us during these next few months, that we also need time to integrate. So it's a bit of a paradox that is built in to the quality of this channel, which is, on the one hand, it's powerful, it's speedy, it can skip steps, it can be enormously productive. But on the other hand, it really benefits from taking the time for some integration. I know in the last episode, I talked a little bit about it being generated energy, because it is coming off the sacral, which means that it's going to work best in response. And that automatically means that there's a little bit of slowing down, right? But in addition to that, it's in the integration circuit, and the integration circuit really asks us to take the time to integrate. And the thing is if we don't, sometimes we can really lose track of our own energy, and we can make decisions that are not the right ones for us, or we can not be paying enough attention and be kind of barreling along, and then get to a point where we stop and we turn around and we go, well, why did I do it like that? If I had taken the time to think about it, I wouldn't have done it that way. Or if I'd taken a time to mull it over, or to allow it to integrate in, almost like if you were emotionally defined. I'm not emotionally defined, so I don't have that piece for myself, but half of the population is emotionally defined. You may be. You want to check that in your chart. I have done a whole video that you can watch here if you want to, about being emotionally defined and what that means for you in terms of your authority. But the integration circuit is somewhat similar to that. So even though I'm not emotionally defined, I'm still going to take some of those same lessons and give myself to get more clarity about what I really want to be doing, what I really want to be focusing on, and if I'm making the right decisions for me. I also want to let you know that registration has opened for Women Evolving Our World, Feminine Sovereignty, Leadership, and the Right Use of Power, which is a virtual conference coming up October 7, 8, and 9 that I am organizing and hosting with 18 other women who are all going to be sharing our work and our wisdom having to do with coming up with solutions to the challenges that we are facing in our world today. This conference is free to attend, and I really encourage you to join us. For me, feminine sovereignty is very intertwined with human design. Even though this is not a human design focused conference, I will be weaving that in there. And I will be creating more and more videos also in my content videos about feminine sovereignty. This is a body of work that I've developed over the last 20 years, and I'm really excited to get to share it with you. I hope that you will check out at womenevolvingourworld.com. Check out this virtual conference and go ahead and register if you want to. I would love to get a chance to meet you. This is a live conference, and there'll be plenty of time to be meeting our presenters, both through Q&A with every session and also with a facilitated conversation we're going to do every day, and also a dedicated Slack channel. Many blessings, much love. Bye for now.